It's February 13th and spring is almost right around the corner. It's like 55 degrees today and very, very warm. Hunting season's over, fox season's over. I'm sorry guys, I let all that stuff get away from me and was not able to get any more hunting in. The farm here, my main priority, and a lot of that stuff, it's just getting pretty busy. A lot of stuff that still has to happen before hay season arrives. I have a lot of work that I still got to get done here and a lot of other priorities in my life right now. But anyway, today I'm out here, we're gonna do a little bit of shed hunting. To be quite honest with you, I've never found a shed in my life. It smells like spring, man. It just feels like spring. So the one place I haven't really looked yet is across the creek over here. Now, it's a south-facing hillside, so it's not like that buck bedding that, you know, you would think that they're at, but there's some pretty good trails over here in places that I've seen some big buck. The last place I haven't looked, we're gonna give it a whirl, see if anything shows up here. First spot I'm gonna look here is down here on this little beached area. There's a myth in the hunting community that wherever you find a balloon is where a buck likes to bed because of all the thermals. So where's the antlers? I don't know if that's true or not. I saw a TikTok about it. So right up this direction is a spot that I rarely ever walk. I rarely ever come to this side of the creek just because I'm never over here. I'd never really had much of a reason to be over here, but I should hunt over here. But I know it's really, really thick up through here, and I'm gonna give this spot a look. We got some poopy. That's a good sign. Haven't even made it 20 yards, and I'm finding all these beds. A small one here, but look at this bed. Probably shouldn't be walking in here, but that's a pretty well-used bed. I want to say it's a buck bed, probably. Up under this deadfall here, you can watch that whole hillside. It's a north-facing hillside. You can watch all this area over there where doe are traveling, right next to all the food sources. So if you remember back, I think it was December, in between gun season and late season, I came down and checked the camera and I bumped a huge buck that was bedded 25 yards to my right across the creek. And I bumped him and he ran across the creek and walked up along the hill up that way. So I don't know if that bed could be his, for all I know, because it's a nice big bed. It looks somewhat fresh, you know, within the last month maybe. There's a lot of small spots in here where it looks like something bedded, but that spot for sure is a 100% a deer bed. Gonna go bushwhacking through some thorns here, determined to find a shed. Get a bird's eye view from this tree. So I looked through that spot there, didn't see anything, so I'm actually gonna backtrack back to where I started, and I'm gonna work the hillside now. There's a real heavy deer trail that runs along there. Maybe buck are using it. I'm gonna see if there's anything in the couple 100-yard stretch that this trail runs. So I hope you can see it, this trail that runs right up through there. I walk up here, like you could see, deer traveling it pretty frequently, because you could, like, I wish the camera would show it better, but it is a really worn down path. Look at this tree. Something got pretty mad at that thing. Holy crap. That thing is tore up. Can you see that? And I mean, this thing's been hit years past too. This one too. There's another rub on that tree. And there's a rub on that tree. Got a rub there. And a rub up there. So what I figured out, at least just from these trails and the rub line, is that this hillside I have to hunt next year. And it would be really easy. I could almost even just put a tree stand on that side of the creek and I would have a 30-yard shot over to anything walking on this trail. Or I could put something on this side of the creek and still be able to sneak through here pretty quietly. There's that trail is a crazy cow path, and there's tons of rubs back in there, and there's a lot of adjacent trails that go up this hill. And if you see here, there's a bunch of bedrock outcroppings here, and so the adjacent trails are to the right and to the left of the rocks. So right here is the most aggressive part of the hill, and there's not a bunch of trails there, but before the rocks and after the rocks there's quite a bit of adjacent trails that go up over the hill then. So now would you look at that rub? Looks like a rub was started there, broke the tree off, and then he finished on this tree by rubbing all the way around it. That one too, but look at that, the whole way around that tree. Surprise, surprise, found another rub here. One right there, and we're back on the cow path. Well, I made my first find of the day here. Got a doe skull. I don't see the rest of the carcass. The other day, just across the creek down in there, I found a jaw, but I couldn't find the head, so I wonder if this is the same deer, and a fox must have gotten to it, or a coyote. So I got a deer cane site here, put it here just about a week ago. Got the camera over it. This is a spot where a lot of deer have traveled through in years past. Thought I would put a deer cane here. Stuff's already starting to lick it. Not a ton of activity yet, but keep giving it some time, and we'll replenish it in 30 days and we'll see what happens. You would think that there would be a shed somewhere in here, but where is it? Well, that's deadhead number 2 today. Somewhat fresh almost. I mean, there's still blood and flesh on this thing. I don't know if there's still brain matter. It's still heavy. I think there's still brain matter in there. That's the 3rd deadhead I have found this year. All doe. That looks like maybe part of the shoulder, part of the leg, I don't know. Well, I found this little honey hole overlooking this, and shocker, there's nothing here. Well, that's it for me today. Nothing worthwhile. Maybe they just haven't quite started dropping, but it's mid-February. I would have thought I would at least find one by now, but oh well. I guess they just don't hang out on this property after the season. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.